This is what he did. Who did? President Barack Obama. He came with hope and change, showing us the players in this government game could and should be changed. This is what they did. Turned their heads while rich friends made billions, stealing electronically. A crime isn't a crime when one's in corporate America. This is what they did. Twisted his words, manufacturing him into a villain, falling fractionally short of calling him insane. So their insanity couldn't be seen. It's insane to commit major felonies and think yourself not to be a felon. Former President Bush implemented major bailouts dressed under the guise of shoring up the economy, but unclothed. It was simply corporate welfare. No one knows whose hands the money fell in. Stop. Hold the back of your ear and listen to the ticker as the CEOs, CFOs, CIOs, COOs, and the CTOs make money digitally. They created this economic chaos, causing people to be fired and laid off, letting people go, increase the corporation's bottom line. Now watch. Vigilantly, bonuses are following. Bernard Madoff, the perfect picture of expendability, was put on display while his cohorts made off like bandits. I would be remiss if I didn't touch upon this. Subprime mortgages were destructive. There was trickery concealed within those loans. There's nothing wrong with second chances, but it was a second chance smokescreen riddled with high interest rates, increased fees, and other cryptic costs laced with greed. What kind of chance was that? How can one come out the ditch when the hole they're in is being dug deeper? So, in your spare time, research these. Interest-only payments for 5 to 10 years. Pay option loans with adjustable rates. Why give a buyer a choice when they didn't understand the choices they were choosing from? And hybrid mortgages that started out fixed but become that dreaded adjustable. This is what he did. Who did? President Barack Obama. He stopped the hemorrhaging of the financial markets, clamping firmly the artery which spewed in many directions, allowing the manipulation of money but mainly away from the people. Now we're in recovery. This is what he did. Who did? President Barack Obama. March 18th, 2010, he signed the HIRE Act, setting in place fortifications for small businesses. In truth, that's where the majority of the jobs will originate from. July 22nd, 2010, he signed the Unemployment Compensation Extension Act, establishing a safety net for those caught up in this numbers crunching game, showing the people he will not sacrifice them for the sake of the country's deficit. This is what they did. Continuously block unemployment extensions while stalling bills that would stimulate job creation. This is what he did. Who did? President Barack Obama. He exposed some of the corporate bedfellows on the House and Senate floor. Now taxpayers will see some of that TARP money come back home. Give him ample time to filter through this mess. You see, he inherited a government with a financial system that had imploded upon itself. This is what they did, made it so only the privileged could afford quality health care. So by default, those whose pockets were less than full would be left to die from manageable illnesses. This is what he did. Who did? President Barack Obama in March of 2010 signed the Affordable Care Act, making it possible for every American to have health care, even those with pre-existing conditions. Now emergency rooms can be used for emergencies, not primary care services. The people should know the cost is greater when one walks through those emergency room doors. Yes, it's cheaper to have a primary care doctor. This is what they did. blame him for a war he didn't start. This is what he did. Who did? President Barack Obama. He's bringing to a close a war festering over 9 years, and he's been in office less than 2 years. Realistically, all the soldiers can't come home at once, but the men and women fighting this war will be home as soon as is logistically possible. This is what they did. Facilitate an extreme polarization within the existing party, spawning an ideology layered within propaganda, laying the foundation for some to teeter on the fringe of ignorance, like some within the Tea Party. Minor and micro parties aren't part of the two-party system, but the Tea Party is fueled out of fear of lost liberties and misinformation. Why is a party trying to have a majority stake in a system they're trying to eliminate? There are too many people in this country to let exist lawlessly. A country without governing bodies on the local, state, and federal level would be a country with nothing but renegades clamoring for power. This is what he's doing, restoring respect, strength, and honor to the office of the presidency. This is what they're doing, disrespecting him on the House and Senate floor. For all they can see is the face of a black man, not the face of a man. Even some media went beyond the level of scum, trying to provoke him by discourteously characterizing his wife, our country's first lady. This is what he's doing, giving government a heart. This is what they're doing, daily and relentlessly trying to silence that viable heartbeat. This is what he's doing. Who's doing? President Barack Obama. He's maneuvering our country towards a more enriching status. Now fall back and let the man do his job.